The office buzzed with the familiar rhythm of keys tapping, printers whirring, and phones ringing in bursts that sliced through the evening air. Ayo sat at her cluttered desk in the branding firm's open-plan office in Lagos, her shoulders hunched in quiet determination. It was 7:15 p.m., and while the rest of the city was shifting into relaxation mode, she was still immersed in the glow of her monitor, fingers dancing furiously across her keyboard. Just one more report. I can do this, she muttered under her breath, barely noticing the pile of papers leaning dangerously at the edge of her desk or the half-drunk cups of cold coffee littering her workspace like abandoned trophies. From the corner of her eye, she saw Ada, her ever-nosy but warm-hearted colleague, sauntering over with a playful frown on her face. "Ayo, you're still here," Ada exclaimed, her brows lifting in mock outrage. "Girl, it's past 7. Go home." Ayo rubbed her eyes with the back of her hand, a weary sigh escaping her lips. "I know, Ada. But this deadline. It's chewing me alive. The boss will have my head if I don't finish tonight." Ada leaned against the desk, arms crossed, watching her friend with a mixture of sympathy and exasperation. "You work too hard, eh? You need a life outside this office." "A life," Ayo gave a half-smile, her voice tinged with sarcasm. "What's that? I can't afford to slack off now." Just then, her phone vibrated against the wooden desk, a small but urgent buzz that drew both women's attention. Ayo glanced down and frowned. It was a message from David again. She opened the text, and her heart sank. "Babe, I need 50K urgently. Can you send it now? Please." A groan slipped from her lips as she threw her head back. "Again? This is the third time this month." Her fingers trembled slightly as she typed a response. "David," she muttered aloud while punching the screen, "we need to talk about this. I can't keep doing this." The sound of the phone hitting the desk with a thud made Ada raise an eyebrow. "Trouble in paradise?" Ayo's voice turned bitter. "If you call a lich paradise, then yes." Ada didn't laugh. Instead, she simply sighed, shook her head, and gave her friend a knowing look before walking back to her desk. Later that night, the roads of Lagos shimmered under the glare of headlights and street lamps. Ayo gripped her steering wheel tightly as she navigated the endless stream of traffic, her mind swirling with thoughts of deadlines, her boss's impatience, and David's ever-growing financial demands. By the time she arrived at her apartment, she felt wrung out. The moment she shut the door behind her, she let herself drop onto the couch, body heavy with exhaustion. The silence in the room wrapped around her like a cold blanket. Her phone lay beside her, now still and silent. She stared up at the ceiling for a long moment, thoughts unspooling. "Is this what love is supposed to be?" she whispered to no one in particular. "Me giving, him taking. No way. I deserve better than this nonsense." She sat up slowly, reached for a glass of water from the small table beside her, and drank deeply. With a heavy sigh, she pushed herself up and headed to bed. Tomorrow would bring more work, more pressure, but maybe, just maybe, a shift in her heart had already begun. The evening air in Ayo's apartment was tense, thick with the scent of frustration and unspoken resentment. David, dressed in his usual laid-back fashion, lounged on her couch, scrolling through his phone with the casual air of someone who had no real worries in the world. Ayo, however, was pacing. Her steps were brisk, her eyes stormy. "David, we need to talk. This can't go on," she said, pausing in front of him with arms folded. He looked up, a lazy smile playing on his lips. "Relax, babe. What's the problem now?" She stared at him, momentarily speechless. "The problem?" Her voice rose with incredulity. "I can't keep sending you money every time you snap your fingers. You need to get a job, David." He shrugged, unaffected. "I'm trying, Ayo. It's tough out there. You know I love you." Ayo let out a bitter laugh. "Love? Love doesn't pay my bills." I work my butt off every day, and you're just here, lying on my couch, leeching off me. David straightened slightly, defensive now. That's not fair. I'm not leeching. Oh, please, she snapped, cutting him off. 3 times this month, David. 3. I've had enough. His smile faded as her words settled between them like stones. Dawn. What are you saying? I'm saying we're over, she said, her voice steady and cold. Get out. He stared at her as if trying to read her face for signs of hesitation, but there was none. Slowly, he stood and reached for his jacket. You're serious? He asked, almost pleading. Out. Now, she said, pointing to the door. Without another word, David left. The door slammed behind him, leaving a sharp echo in its wake. Ao sank onto the couch, her chest heaving. Tears welled up and fell silently. I deserve better, she whispered. I know I do. The party in Lagos was loud and alive, pulsing with music and laughter. Ao, dressed in a sleek dress that hugged her figure with effortless grace, moved through the crowd with practiced ease. She was surrounded by friends, but her smile didn't quite reach her eyes. Nkechi, vibrant and bubbly as always, grabbed her hand and pulled her toward a tall, well-dressed man standing by the drinks. Ao. Come meet my friend, Chief Obinna. Big-time businessman, Nkechi said, winking. Ao offered a polite smile. Hi, Chief Obinna. Nice to meet you. The pleasure's mine, Chief Obinna replied, his voice rich and confident. Nkechi's told me all about you. Oh, Ao raised an eyebrow. And what's she been saying? That you're hardworking, smart as a whip, and, dare I say, stunning. Ao blushed, taken aback. Wow. Thank you. Their conversation flowed effortlessly, laughter bubbling between them like champagne. So, Ao, he asked, sipping his drink. What do you do for fun? She chuckled. Fun? I don't get much of that. Work keeps me busy. He tilted his head. A beautiful woman like you with no fun. That's a crime. Maybe you're right, she admitted, and for the first time in weeks, she genuinely smiled. The candlelit restaurant was intimate and warm, the low murmur of voices blending with soft music. Ao sat across from Chief Obinna, her fingers wrapped around a wine glass. Though his presence was charming, her eyes were guarded. So, tell me, Ao, what's your big dream? He asked. She looked down, thoughtful. I want to succeed in my career, maybe even start my own business someday. Chief Obinna smiled. That's amazing. I believe you do it. She nodded slowly. Thanks. But I'm not sure about dating right now. I just got out of something messy. Bad breakup, he asked gently. She sighed. Yeah. And honestly, I'm not sure about dating an Igbo man again. No offense. He raised his hands. None taken. But why's that? It's a long story, she replied. Let's just say my past left a mark. Well, he said softly, I'm not like other men, Ao. Give me a chance to show you. Her lips curved slightly. She wasn't convinced, but she was curious. Ao's office was abuzz with whispers and giggles as a deliveryman walked in with a massive bouquet of roses. All eyes turned to her as he approached her desk. For you, he said. She blinked. Me. The card read, thinking of you. Chief Obinna. A small smile crept onto her face. Her phone rang almost instantly. Did you like the flowers? Chief Obinna asked on the other end. They're gorgeous, she said. But you don't have to keep doing this. I want to, he said firmly. You deserve to feel special. Thank you, Chief Obinna, but I'm still figuring things out. Take all the time you need, he said. I'm not going anywhere. She ended the call and stared at the bouquet. Her heart fluttered, joy and uncertainty tangled together. "Ayo," her boss barked, storming toward her desk. "How did we lose $5,000? You were in charge of this account." She stood, heart pounding. "Sir, I don't know. I followed every step." "Maybe it's a glitch," a colleague suggested. Her boss waved it off. "A glitch? We're investigating this, Ayo. Your job's on the line." The office around her blurred as her stomach dropped. Later, she called Chief Obina, her voice shaky. "There's trouble at work," she said. "They think I lost money." "Slow down," he said calmly. "Tell me everything." When she did, he reassured her with the kind of confidence she wished she had herself. "I'll help you figure this out," he said. "You're not alone." The festival in Anambra was vibrant, filled with music, dancing, and a riot of colors. Chief Obina led Ayo through the crowd with excitement, but she clutched his hand nervously. "I feel so out of place," she whispered. "You're with me," he said, smiling. "Just enjoy it." Trying to participate, Ayo joined the dance, but accidentally stepped on someone's foot. She apologized profusely as the woman glared at her. "I'm so sorry," Ayo said, mortified. Chief Obina laughed. "Relax. You're learning." But Ayo's smile faded. "I don't know if I can fit in here." He stopped walking and looked into her eyes. "You don't have to change for me. I love you just the way you are." Ayo sat at her small dining table, scribbling notes and diagrams onto a notepad. Her laptop lay open beside her, glowing with spreadsheets and pitch ideas. Her phone buzzed, messages from a group chat lighting up the screen. "Friend 1, Ayo, you'd kill it with your own company." "Friend 2, but leaving your job? That's risky." Ayo exhaled, tapping her pen against the page. "Risky, but maybe worth it," she whispered. Unable to quiet her mind, she dialed her friends. "You're talented," one friend said on the call. "You should go for it." "But a stable job isn't easy to come by," the other cautioned. "I know," Ayo replied. "And with everything happening, Chief Obina, the office drama, it's a lot." "Maybe he can help fund your dream," one friend suggested. Ayo's voice was firm. "No. I want to do this on my own." She stared at her notes again, determination settling in her chest like iron. The workday had barely started when a commotion erupted outside Ayo's office building. People peered out of windows and rushed outside, drawn by the unmistakable sound of drums. And there, in the middle of the street, was Chief Obina, flanked by traditional drummers, dancers, and a bright banner that read, "Ayo, I love you." Ayo stood at the front entrance, stunned as her colleagues gathered around her, whispering and giggling. "Chief Obina, what in the world?" she gasped, cheeks flushed. He grinned, stepping toward her. "I wanted the whole world to know how much I love you." The drummers pounded louder, dancers spun, and her coworkers clapped and cheered. A colleague shouted, "Ayo, this guy is a keeper." She laughed through the shock, her heart pounding. "This is insane." "Maybe," Chief Obina said, taking her hand, "but I mean every bit of it." As the music soared, Ayo ran into his arms, and the crowd erupted around them. Later that night, Ayo and Chief Obina sat on her couch. The echo of the drum still lingered in her ears, but a quiet uncertainty hung between them. "That was incredible today," she said softly. "But I'm still not sure." He turned toward her, concern flickering in his eyes. "Why? What's holding you back?" She hesitated, then whispered, "My dad. He was Igbo, and he left us. Just walked out. I don't trust easily because of him." Chief Obina reached for her hand. "Ayo, I'm not your father. I'd never hurt you." Tears welled in her eyes, but she didn't look away. I know you're different, but it's hard. Some days, I feel like I'm still that little girl waiting for someone who never came back. He pulled her gently into his arms. I'll wait as long as you need. But I'm not going anywhere. Still, her walls remained visible, fragile, but standing. Eo sat at the corner booth of a dimly lit restaurant, checking her watch for the third time. It was past 7. Chief Obinna was late. She pulled out her phone and called him. It rang twice before he answered, breathless. Eo. I'm so sorry. An emergency came up, my phone died, and I couldn't. You could have found a way, she snapped, voice tight with disappointment. I've been sitting here like a fool. It won't happen again, I swear. She looked around the empty seat across from her. Maybe we're just too different. Eo, please. Don't say that, he pleaded. She ended the call, placing the phone down slowly, her heart cracking open again. The following week, a small package arrived at Eo's office. She opened it slowly and gasped. It was a first edition of a book she had once casually mentioned loving in passing. Her fingers brushed over the cover as emotion welled in her chest. She picked up her phone and dialed immediately. Thank you for the book, she said. It's perfect. I remembered, Chief Obinna said warmly. I'm listening, Eo. I want to get this right. There was silence for a moment, then she whispered, maybe we can try again. His voice lit up with hope. Yes. Let's do this. At a local charity event, Eo arrived to find Chief Obinna in a t-shirt and jeans, handing out food to children with a quiet smile on his face. No cameras. No entourage. Just him, kind, present, human. She watched from afar, something softening in her chest. He's not just flash and cash, she thought. He's real. She stepped forward and joined him, scooping food onto plates beside him. Their eyes met, and a new kind of bond formed, one built not on grand gestures, but on something far more solid. Eo sat stiffly on the plush couch in Chief Obinna's family home. His mother, regal and traditional, studied her with discerning eyes. So, you're the one my son's mad about, the older woman said at last. Eo smiled nervously. Yes, Ma. Nice to meet you. You're not Igbo, eh? Before Eo could respond, Chief Obinna stepped in. Mom, I love her. That's what matters. The woman's stern expression softened slightly. If she makes you happy, then I'm happy. Eo exhaled in relief, her grip loosening on her purse. Back at Eo's office, Chief Obinna arrived with documents and evidence in hand. He stood in front of her boss, firm and professional. It was a system error. Eo's innocent. The boss scanned the pages, brows furrowing. This checks out. Eo, you're cleared. She turned to Chief Obinna, her eyes brimming. You saved me. Anything for you, my love, he said, pulling her into a brief hug. The sun was high, and the event space was packed. Eo had been invited under the guise of a business networking event, but something about the buzz in the air felt different. Suddenly, the lights dimmed, and all eyes turned to the stage. There stood Chief Obinna, microphone in hand, dressed in a clean white kaftan with golden embroidery. His face shone with confidence and something deeper, vulnerability. Eo, he called out. She froze, her heart thudding. Slowly, she turned as the spotlight fell on her. Chief Obinna's voice echoed across the venue. I love you. Every day, every moment with you has shown me the kind of woman I never thought I'd meet, strong, beautiful, and full of fire. Will you marry me? Gasps filled the room. Eo covered her mouth with her hands, tears already in her eyes. Yes, she whispered. Then louder. Yes. Chief Obinna, yes. The crowd erupted in cheers. Chief Obinna climbed down the stage, dropped to one knee, and slid the ring onto her trembling finger. They embraced as a soft chant of lovebirds filled the air. Boxes littered Eo's apartment floor. Her laptop bag was neatly packed, and the framed quote on her wall, "Build the life you dream of," seemed to glow brighter than ever. She took a deep breath, smoothed her blouse, and glanced around. Chief Obinna leaned against the doorframe, watching her with pride. "So, this is it. You're really leaving the job?" "I am," she said, voice steady. "I'm starting my own branding firm. I've got the plans, the vision, and now, the guts. I'll back you up, you know," he said. She turned and smiled at him. "Thanks. But I've got this." In that moment, Eo stood taller, not just as a woman in love, but as a woman stepping into her power. The door to Eo's new office burst open, slamming against the wall. David stood there, sweat beading on his forehead, desperation painted across his face. "Eo, please," he said. "I messed up. I know I did. But I need you. Take me back." Eo stood behind her new desk, the logo of her company gleaming on the wall behind her. She didn't flinch. "No, David." He blinked. "Eo, please. I love you." "I don't think you even know what love is," she replied calmly. "I'm with Chief Obinna now. He respects me, believes in me. You had your chance. But we have history. And I've learned from it." Before David could say more, Chief Obinna entered through the side door, his posture relaxed but his gaze sharp. David turned to him, scowled, then muttered something under his breath and walked out, defeated. Eo looked up at Chief Obinna and smiled. "That was the closure I didn't know I needed." Chief Obinna grinned. "Let's lock the past. Your future looks too good." The sun was bright on their wedding day, drenching the outdoor venue in gold. Friends and family gathered beneath billowing white tents adorned with fresh flowers. The choir hummed softly in the background. Eo stood in a lace dress, glowing with elegance and joy. Chief Obinna, dressed in traditional attire, looked at her like she held the entire world in her hands. At the altar, the priest raised his voice. "Do you, Chief Obinna, take Eo to be your lawfully wedded wife?" "I do," he said, his eyes never leaving hers. "And do you, Eo, take Chief Obinna to be your lawfully wedded husband?" "I do," she replied, her voice steady and full of love. "You may kiss the bride." They kissed. The crowd erupted in cheers. Drums beat wildly as dancers rushed in to celebrate. Later, as they swayed slowly under fairy lights, Chief Obinna leaned in close and whispered, in every word, "I love you." Eo smiled up at him, her heart full. "And I love you too." The night bloomed with laughter, music, and a kind of happiness Eo never thought she'd know. She had found love, not in flowers or grand gestures alone, but in respect, in partnership, in every word.